Welcome to the castle, everybody. This is Nightsaber Z42, and today we're going to take a look at one-page Ascendant weapons. A while ago, I actually did a review on Armaments of Legacy by Rich Lescouflair and Ancestral Weapons by Dungeon Rollers, and so this kind of follows the same vein as those two supplements where you are taking a weapon and you're kind of leveling it up. This is by DELW, and we're going to take a look at it. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is it's not just one page because you have a cover art. Just kidding. It's actually about 5 pages long because you have an introduction page, you have the actual one-page Ascendant weapons, and then you get like an explanation of what these different features do. So let's take a look. The first thing is a little tiny table of contents, how to print guide, as well as the credits. Of course, you need to have all of that. And I actually kind of really did enjoy this little blurb about George Washington's axe. It was really interesting. But right after that, we do get the one-page Ascendant weapons. Basically, this is just like a little linear path that is supposed to be very quick for a weapon. Any type of a weapon, no matter what kind of a weapon you have, you just follow this little progression. So, for example, at first level, you would get the Seal and Sigil after you spend 25 gold pieces to basically upgrade it. And this gives you access to a spell, if I'm not mistaken, that you can infuse inside of your weapon. And you can basically cast that weapon or cast that spell as an action. All of these features do different things. Some of them are repeated. For example, you have Intimate Enemy at 7th level, which you get again at 11th level. And it's just progression. You spend enough gold pieces when you're at that level, and your weapon levels up and gets the next feature. And as you can see, you don't actually get a weapon bonus until 5th level, then again at 9th level, 13th level, and then 17th level. So it actually does scale quite nicely with your actual character level. That way you're not super overpowered at the very beginning just by using this supplement. So some of the other things that you have are things like rated weapon. So you're proficient and suffer no penalties from drawing or sheathing your weapon. You may do them both during an attack action. You have martial weapon, which you can look at the battle master archetype and choose one of those maneuvers. You would start with a 1d6 as your superiority die, and then you would keep adding them as you gain weapon bonuses. Reinforced, you can get it perfectly balanced, so a two-handed weapon becomes versatile. One-handed damage is the next lowest die, and so forth. Intimate Enemy is actually really interesting. So you choose a creature type or select 2 races of humanoids such as gnolls and orcs as an intimate enemy. Add 1d6 of your weapon's original damage type when attacking these enemies. This damage increases by 1d6 at 7th and 11th level, or you may choose an additional intimate enemy at those levels instead. That kind of really reminds me of things like Sting from The Lord of the Rings, where it's basically set for a certain type of an enemy, but this also is kind of straight out from the Ranger enemy feat or bonus that they get, where they do extra damage to certain enemies that they choose. You have things like expanded damage, so you permanently gain an extra 1d8 damage type, and then finally, your weapon starts to get sentience. Your weapon gains a small portion of will from a deceased enemy, ally, or an attribute of your ideal self, allowing you proficiency in a new language and toolset and 1 cantrip of any type. It gains a sentience bonus that is applied to your armor class, 2 wisdom, intelligence, or charisma-based skills, and 1 save of your choice. Weapon saves such as concentration are 1d6 plus sentient bonus. And then, of course, after 20th level, you really can't upgrade it anymore, although your DM might be gracious enough to actually give you some extra bonus stuff. So everything does scale quite nicely. It's just me, but I would probably up the gold piece spent price at the earlier levels just in case, because I don't like having my players being too overpowered, but this is quite fine. It does go at a very steady pace, especially when you get to the higher levels. Hopefully you're giving out tons of gold. So the next page, you have an actual card for your weapons that you can write on to it and actually showcase everything that it can do. And then you have extra stuff, just little explanations. So like you're spending gold to upgrade your weapons, but how are you spending gold? Because it's supposed to be kind of like an OSR type flavor. So to me, I would just basically say you're going to your blacksmith, your best friend blacksmith, and they are doing this for you. You're paying them to do this stuff for you. So it could be like an ancient blacksmith who's really good at his craft or something like that. It does take time, although there are definitive rules here about how much time it takes. So that's really nice. And then you do get an explanation as to the abilities in order. And of course, there's a little blurb here about customization and balance. So you can always change things around as you see fit. So that way, not everybody is going along the same path. Maybe it would make sense for one person to have a different ability for their weapon and stuff like that. And then you have some examples as to what happens when you get to like 7th level or 17th level or even 20th level, like the Ultimate Spoon of Destruction, which is probably the best weapon in the entire game, just saying. And that is actually it for this supplement. So would I use this? It's up in the air. I think this would be really good if you had like a one-on-one type game, like I do with my wife sometimes. It would be really cool just to like have one person doing the progression in a linear fashion, because having everybody do the same thing kind of wouldn't really suit everybody's need. I mean, it might suit some games. It just doesn't seem that good for my games. But on a one-on-one setting, this would totally work. So feel free to leave a comment down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up to support the series, and subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you guys in the next video.